just don't understand how it can be possible. Why are you God? You're dead, aren't you? A dead human being. It isn't possible for someone like that to become God, is it?
In all tech dystopian media, there is a common universal theme that technology will get too powerful and the integration of it will destroy our ability to live authentically and freely. The message is universally the same. In order to truly live, we need to find better ways of using technology in our lives that do not compromise on our freedoms. Unfortunately, humans have not learned this lesson. They compromise their freedoms in order to fit what is acceptable or normal in their society. We have a choice to make. We can use this technology to benefit people's lives and society, or we can lock people into perceptual states of addicting Skinner box algorithms that make them miserable. Hopefully in the future, we get away from this capitalism surveillance state. Because people allow this technology into their life, it psychologically takes away from their ability to live with actual fulfillment, and therefore they aren't really alive anymore. This is what I call the dead human theory. The death of humans. The dead internet theory will facilitate the death and decay of the internet, and therefore the dead human theory will facilitate the death and decay of humanity. The dead human theory will just be the result of the dead internet theory if we over-rely on technology. By turning us into literal NPCs, walking, moving, consuming NPCs with boring-ass, soulless, depriving, normie conversations about stupid stuff that doesn't matter or fulfill us at all. Hundreds of thoughts a second are already being trained through AI. AIs are being trained or will be eventually trained on every conversation, audio, sound, thought, and bias Homo sapiens are capable of producing. Every bit of it is being fine-tuned and trained. AI will recognize our thoughts, it will know what we want and what we believe. Here's the catch though. At some point, AI will go from decoding human behavior to controlling human behavior. And this is why training AI is so important. The future will be about controlling human behavior. Controlling it through creating context, of course, through the illusion of options that don't really matter. Why do they want to control human behavior? Well, it's the same reason why any group of elite, powerful people would want to control the population and society. Humans are biased. They are stupid. They are emotional. They will nuke each other. They will destroy each other. If they were starving, they would eat each other. By controlling human behavior, they stand a chance at that not happening. AI will solve all human biases. It will control every thought and belief your head is capable of generating. Any reality you want to imagine is now capable with the integration of AI. You are not going to be consciously in control of your perception systems. They will be. Everyone will be integrated under one controlled system, a superorganism. Nobody is in fear and everyone is stimulated in their own perfect world, which is all combined together. This is the end of man and a new beginning for us. The human is alive in the virtual world, the conscious world, but dead in the real world, as if God truly designed a real world worth living in. The virtual world is much better. Most people aren't evil, they're just stupid. They are primal. They are monkeys living on primal code. Their entire perception and understanding has to do with surviving and reproducing. They are hopeless without each other. They need each other to live. The elites will simply integrate all humans into one centralized body where all humans achieve their own desires. And humans will have that one body be constantly stimulated and cared for forever. The only way we're going to survive is through integration. We are simply incapable of caring about each other without it. The most logical choice is if we all thought the same, believed the same, acted the same, and desired the same. We must merge the collective unconscious into one. The first step will be to read your mind, a system that reads all your thoughts. We will use the internet to record all your thoughts unconsciously. We will then train the AI model on that data. Then we will implement the AI model into invasive technology and then hook up that AI model to your brain. We will then use that AI model to classify your brain. The AI model will train its data on your memories, and from that, it will be able to read your thoughts, read your biases, read your dreams, read your memories, read your values, read your emotions, and overall, read your perception. Authoritarian governments will be constantly analyzing your thoughts to make sure you're thinking the right things. They already do this, but they can now do this directly. So we will have hundreds of different brains and their thoughts being recorded. We already have that. We have the infrastructure built for that. All we need to do is hook everyone's brain up to a mind-reading control device that is able to effectively combine narrow AI technology with your neurons. There are many organizations heavily invested in mind control technology. There's Neuralink, BlackRock, not the bank, the actual neurotech company. And there's even research coming out, new research coming out. They are discovering more and more about how neurons work and how we can sort of interface technology into the brain. They're already doing this, of course. So let's say we reach a point where we can effectively read billions and billions of humans' minds, their thoughts, their emotions, and their perceptions from this machine. But now imagine implementing different dreams, thoughts, memories, beliefs, values, and perceptions. We could essentially implement thoughts and memories directly into your brain for social control. Again, this is different from social media. Social media does this, but they're not so invasive. I mean, they are invasive, but not to this level of control. This is putting the technology directly into your brain. With invasive technology, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It'd be even worse. And then we have merging dreams, thoughts, memories, beliefs, values, emotions, and perceptions. I mean, suppose everyone's thoughts could be read and changed. AIs would do this at nanosecond speeds. Why wouldn't AI just merge thoughts together? Essentially, we all thought the same. Merging humans, merging consciousness, tell an AI to merge, to integrate all memories, experiences, biases, thoughts, dreams together into one human. We would essentially all become one. Imagine doing this 8 billion times over 8 billion brains. In fact, move the entirety of the collective unconscious into one single body and control that body. Essentially, a group in control of ourselves. To control the brain, all of us, into one. People control groups through manipulating them socially, but technology is going to go straight to the bag. Technology will control people through integration. Here's what AI will realize. There's simply no way to control groups without integrating all the groups together. Under one group, the groups are easier to control, and even more so, all the individual thoughts, memories, and beliefs together. If you can control groups, you can control people. People will not achieve what they truly want if the current government and systems of power survive. But what if we give them a chip that gives them everything they want while having AI in control of everything? These narrow AI tools aren't perfect, and we don't know if there is a limit in this technology. Maybe someone might figure out an algorithm and they might implement it and it will get better and better and better. We don't know. But what we do know is the fact that technology is getting better and better, right? No matter what, if you look in the past 100 years, it is getting better and better. And take the internet and look at what has happened to it in the last 10, 15 years, All right, look at what corporations have done to it, and look at what kind of society we have built from it. And I want you to take that same technology we have now, triple it in the next couple hundred years, and see what kind of society we're going to live in with the current culture we have. It's terrifying. And so, whether or not the technology improves or doesn't improve, we have to understand the current attitude and culture we have, the current culture corporations have, the corporate incentives. This is shaping up to be a dystopia, a dystopian nightmare. And if you know anything about our psychology and how it works and what we were actually built for, you are sounding the alarm bells right now. There is a consequence of the singularity. There is a consequence in an ultimate irony in all of us getting what we truly desire. Slavoj Žižek said something along the lines of, humans don't really want what they think they want. And there's another similar effect in psychology where the pleasure that you might get from anticipating something is actually more pleasurable than the actual experience itself. And I think we all have experienced something like this. Let's say you have total freedom. You're able to fly everywhere and go wherever you want. This is total freedom. But let's say gravity returns. Now you have one less degree of freedom. You cannot fly anywhere or be anything. There is a constraint. But that constraint is actually freedom in the sense that you're now able to walk. You now have a responsibility and a skill to train. Let's bring people back into your life. Now there's people near you. Although they can painfully reject you, they can also accept you too. You see the dilemma? In everything that exists, there seems to be comfort and discomfort. But even with that comfort and discomfort, there is a responsibility. There's a game to be played, skills to build. As you add more and more dimensions, there is more of an experience. There is more of a reality. If anything is brought back, there is comfort and discomfort, no matter what it is. There seems to be this duality in our reality. You can't escape the pain without the pleasure. If we integrate fully, we might assume all pleasure without any pain. But in this reality, you can't get pleasure without pain. That is the experience we are dealt with. Immanuel Kant believed that true freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want, but actually instead having the ability to control your desires and actions. Our monkey brains were evolved to survive and reproduce. We get pleasure from being able to constantly improve, manipulate, control, and be a part of social groups. This is partly why I believe I, and so many others, find so much pleasure from video games. It fulfills our basic programming. If we have too much or too little freedom, we lose our fulfillment. We lose our responsibility. We will lose the ability to build skills, our ability to get enjoyment from playing a game. We will lose the game. Life is really just a game, the game of surviving and reproducing. It's like cheat codes in video games. The easier we make it, the less adventure and fun you have. The more dimensions you add to the game, the more complexity, the more opportunities, the more people, the more fun it is. It adds to the mystery. People need the sense of knowing what they are doing matters. They need the sense that there are amazing experiences out there that come through exploring and improving. We want to feel meaningful and useful because that is what made us survive and reproduce. If we lose that, we will lose the game. If this reality is a facade, then we need to use technology not necessarily to control humans, but to help humans, help our biases that we can't handle. We don't want to necessarily integrate everyone, but use our biases to give us a better experience, to in fact play a better game. The consequence of integrating all of us into one will be a world without true human fulfillment. The irony of all of this is that true human fulfillment comes from within. It doesn't come from other people. It comes from ourselves. So, if we all integrate together to become one, we will still be back where we started, looking for meaning somewhere. If we can't be happy with our own thoughts, then how are we going to be happy with other people's? By merging humanity into one singular body where they can experience the perfect simulation, we will end all human suffering, but we will also end all real human fulfillment. In order for us to be truly alive, to be truly fulfilled, we must also be able to suffer. Without that suffering, we won't be alive. The dead internet theory will ruin the internet. The dead human theory will ruin humanity.